Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Anime Lounge Short Flights. Today, we are covering the season finale of Demon Slayer. Man, was that a lot, and it was such a good episode. So worth it.
Oh God, amazing.
Yes. Um, but, Lance, you kind of want to just give us a quick run up what happened in this episode?
Right. So just a quick rundown because we're gonna have plenty to talk about. In this final episode, we get the conclusion of Hantegu. We get some crazy information on Nezuko, and we get to learn a little bit more about Muzan and his past and how he became who he is. So lots of great information.
Yeah, honestly, I think it was super important to finally get some sort of backstory about Muzan because it
Yeah.
would have been so easy to just be like, oh, yep, he was born a demon mysteriously and just leave it at that. And he was a terrible person for his entire existence. And I'll be completely honest, people would have probably just been like, okay, it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I would have fallen into that category too. I assumed he was just born a demon and he was just a piece of shit guy just trying to take over the world or whatever with his abilities. But I'm glad he's got a little bit more complicated history, so it made him way more interesting.
Yeah, definitely super interesting. It's crazy to think that he's essentially a one off, that he was created this way. He really only kept creating demons because he was trying to find the true key for immortality.
Basically, yeah. Well, the biggest thing he was missing was just conquering the sun.
Yep. Yeah, and of course, his being a complete piece of shit, throwing that out there, he kills the doctor who ends up saving him, which he didn't know about, but still don't care about that.
Right. Well,
And
I thought that part was pretty interesting. Like
yes,
you can totally understand like if he's not actually helping, then he has no need for him. But then, oh shit, the next day comes and his medicine did actually work. And now that he's gone, all of his secrets are gone, and all the progress that could have come from it. I did like that. Thought that was pretty fun.
no, I really enjoyed that part. It was just, if you're gonna die anyways, just kind of die. Like, yeah,
Oh,
it sucks, but at least the doctor tried. Like, he could have just had some doctor be like, nope, sorry, didn't figure it out, and called it a day.
right.
So, but of course, it falls 100% in line with Muzan because when he finally figures out that about Nezuko, he goes and chops off his pseudo mom's head. It just
Yeah,
instant.
that was pretty funny.
Yeah, like it was just like, oh shit. Okay, yep, that happened. So,
Like that lady that was standing right there next to her, like took her a second to like comprehend exactly what was going on, and I thought that was fun too. So
yes. Yeah, just in entire room full of blood and it's like what just happened? And then, of course, he's changing in front of her, so that's
that was cool.
metamorphing. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was really cool to kind of see that part too. But yeah, definitely really cool to see Muzan. I'm glad they didn't go into any backstory about like the individual that he's afraid of and saving that for like the future potentially. Because
The
remember,
individual. Go
yes,
on.
the Demon Slayer individual that he is afraid of, which we
Oh
do know
yeah,
about.
the guy, the original owner of that new sword.
I don't think he was the owner of the sword, but he was the individual that the doll thing was made
Replicated.
after.
Hmm.
So it was cool to not get that part of the backstory because it just leaves it for later. And really, this whole backstory was only meant to kind of give a glimpse as to how Muzan became a demon, what his goals were, what his intentions are, and to be completely honest, you find out that he's doing this for complete selfish reasons, which is for him to gain immortality. Nothing else, nobody else, himself, and that's it.
Right. And yeah, that was totally awesome. His origin story was great. Totally cool with it. And I mean, you can understand why he's doing what he's doing. So not
Yeah,
necessarily going to be rooting him on, but like I want to see more.
yeah, no, it's definitely a really cool backstory. it's interesting. I personally believe it was needed.
100%. So yeah, so if you want to move on from Muzan, I think we
Yep.
nailed that one pretty good. Let's
Yep.
just go back to like the big fight,
Yes.
Tanjiro versus Antegu.
Yep.
We last episode he's getting ready to get chopped, and that's not necessarily how it all ended because he just kept getting chopped. It seemed like almost, and he just couldn't finish it. And
Yep.
but it was good.
Yeah, it was a really good fight. Of course, he just happens to have another person that he can escape into in this case because he went inside of fear. Is that who? No.
Oh yeah, that's right. Another one came out. No, it wasn't
Yep.
Fear. It was someone else. But yeah, he just made a whole new body come out, and then he just like hit himself in like his liver or something.
It was in his heart.
Oh, heart. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So of course, Tanjiro chops off the head of the individual that he's hiding inside of. Who finally gets this breath of fresh air, and come to find out, nope, still running, still getting burned up by the sun, still not
Yeah.
dying, and has to go back after him to finally defeat the Hantegu, which backstory for him, thought it was kind of funny.
Nothing too crazy. It's just that he just did shit. He killed people. He blamed his hands like they had a mind of their own, and
Oh no, my hands. My hands just did it with the knife in your hand. It's like, yeah, no, no. Uh, I like the Lord that basically called him on his bullshit, where he was like,
yep.
the last blind guy was staring at the wall until I talked to him, and no response. Like, ah, man, I got caught.
I don't know exactly what was. And they didn't explain that like he might have had like some kind of mental deal, but like he just it sounded like he just made up excuses to get out of trouble.
Yeah, I guarantee you, he just, because he looked sickly and looked in need of help, he just used people and lied and killed and stole from those people that were helping him. I guarantee you that's
Right.
all it was. He was just a terrible person from the beginning. And he had that whole woe is me because I'm not, I don't not normal, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So, um, the fight scene was super awesome. I loved the entire fight with this one because you got uh m- more moves from Tanjiro. He's finally able to move at Hashira speeds, would you say?
I mean, he's definitely getting a Hashira speeds. Are you trying to talk about tapping into a little bit of thunder breathing?
Yes.
Would you consider that kind of speed Hashira speed? Because I would just say that like that's just a new technique.
I will agree it's a new technique, but if he can use it
Oh yeah.
continuously, I think that would be what Hashira speed would be.
Oh yeah, definitely. And if not, Hashira speed like maybe even better because this thunder flashing quick speed technique, that's super fast.
Yep.
So I think he's going to surpass Hashira speed.
Yeah, because he's able to basically feel every vein, every fiber of his muscles. I'm perfectly fine with that because, if you can accept the fact that he can stop poison by his breathing and stop dying from wounds due to breathing, I feel like everything's on the table at that point.
Total concentration breathing is just all encompassing. Like if you can
Yep.
just focus in on something, then you can maximize output in some fashion. So
Yep.
I accept it completely. It was kind of funny though because Tanjiro was running and he's got a bum leg or a bum foot, and then he's like, I can't go on. But then of course he focused all his breathing, his regenerate, his healing kind of thing, and he was able to push past it. So that was
Yep.
interesting.
What did you take of him essentially learning a thunder breathing technique?
Just totally on board. I know in our podcast stuff when we talked about season one, I had thought up the idea that like, what if Tanjiro turns out to be like the avatar of Demon World or the Demon Slayer world because he's got water breathing and he's got fire breathing. So like, screw it, let's just keep going. And then we learn more and more about sun breathing and its origins and how expansive and important sun breathing is. So
Yep.
it didn't surprise me at all that Tanjiro just tapped into the speed of thunder breathing.
Yeah, and if that's really all he gets is that he can just kind of manipulate his legs a little bit better due to thunder breathing, I'm perfectly fine with that. Like it's not going ridiculous where he's using thunder then water then fire then like just using every single element at once. It's a little different.
Right.
Uh,
It would be interesting to see that though.
that
It
would be
would be
kind of cool.
turning. It would turn. Yeah, just go back to the Avatar. It's going to turn into that final episode where he's just pulling out all of the elements together. But
I
I
think in
don't
a
expect
video
it.
game. That would need to be a video game.
That would be fun.
Yes. But like you said, sun breathing's the origin breathing techniques, so you can kind of, without having to animate logic, you can make logic into it, which is nice. It at
Exactly.
least makes sense.
When Tanjiro first did his, flash step kind of thing, it made me think of Deku and how uses his power jumps and he's leaping around everywhere. So I wonder if they're gonna cross over like that and just be in similar ideas or something.
Yeah, maybe. I think I want to say this finished before My Hero got to that point, but maybe I don't remember. Um, that's I don't remember. It's been a while since I've been at both of those points for the manga and on both sides. So, like I said, I don't remember that part.
That's all right though. But yeah,
Yep.
it was just fun to just see that.
Yes. Um, I'd say yeah. Let's kind of talk about the almost saddest part of the entire series, and that was
Yeah,
Nezuko basically kicking Tanjiro off of her, shielding her from the sun because she was fully exposed to the sun
basically,
to
yeah,
yep, to save those three swordsmith uh, and essentially sacrifice herself in
yep.
order to save the people.
Right. So she knew it's kind of like the train thing where save one person or save like 10 people, and she knew just go save more people,
Yep,
sacrifice herself
yep.
because at the same rate, like if Tanjiro would have saved Nezuko and let the others die, he we would have had a couple episodes worth of him just beating himself up over that.
I think he probably would have never picked up a sword if that would have happened. So it's yeah,
Yeah, it would have
his
been. I mean, he had troubles with that whole decision. Like he basically froze. He couldn't decide on what to do.
yep. Well, like he said, his entire reason to become a part of the Demon Slayer Corps was to save Nezuko, and he thought she died. She should have died.
Right? Yeah, dude. When I was watching this at work, and that whole scene was getting super sad. And I was like, oh, I need to look away a couple bit because I was starting to feel a little teary eyed, and I almost cried at work.
Well, I was at home, so I could cry, and nobody was around to watch me because my daughter was watching her tablet, and my son is 4 months, so he has no idea what's going on.
Right. So you weren't going to get judged by anybody.
Nope, no judgment free zone in my house right now. And yeah,
It was.
no,
It,
that
like, it came close. It was super sad.
it was very sad. Um, and I'll just say anybody who didn't find that sad, like you're heartless. That's just mean.
Right.
Cause
Yeah, and to add on top of that, like for anybody that knows or has been spoiled by anything, and I mean, I'm just gonna say it like now, like we know that Demon Slayer, the manga's finished. We know it's a happy ending. So I knew on the side that there's no way she's gonna actually die or she's gonna come back in some way. Like that was still in the back of my head. Like I knew it was still going to work out, but it was still sad, and I didn't, it did a good
Yeah,
job.
and it's one of those things where they have the montage at
Yeah, montages too. Those always do it.
yeah, so that really pulled on the heartstrings. It was sad. It was very sad. I don't care if you know that it's going to be a happy ending or not. Like just watching that, especially reading the manga, yes, I knew what was going to happen. Still plays on the heartstrings because I went back to the first time when I saw that. I was like, no, no, this can't be happening. Like, so for anybody who hasn't read the manga, I can only imagine that's what they were feeling. Where it's like, no, no, this like just
Just
throw
quick, just stop reading. Like, I don't even want to know what happens next. She dies. I'm done.
yeah, just throw the book out and call it, just walk away for a couple days. That's almost I did the opposite where I was like, nope, I gotta keep going because I need to know what happens next.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't have stopped either.
And it was very heartfelt. And then of course, she's like the muzzle piece falls down and you see like just the slow walking. They did an amazing job with that whole scene. It was so
Oh
well
yeah.
done because I mean, it didn't have to technically be Nezuko walking towards Tanjiro.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I did figure it was right away, but everything was just so animated beautifully. Like even I was mesmerized by how well the grass was even animated and stuff like that. Like it was everything was just so beautiful. And then yeah, when the mouth guard thing fell off and she started looking, I don't know, like more human like, and not necessarily, but she started looking a little bit more normal. Like everything just was awesome.
Yep. Yeah, then her finally speaking words, it was yeah, heartfelt. That's all I can really put to it. It was so good. I loved seeing it, especially animated. They did an absolute amazing job. Like you could have easily just thought that the sun turned her into a human at first because like you look at her nails look normal. She's standing in the sun. She looked different. You could have I If I hadn't read the manga, I would have just thought that she turned into a human and that's how she survived.
Right. I was starting to think that like maybe she is going to turn human and then something's going to happen and she'll turn back into a demon or whatever, but then you get to see her eyes are still, red and she still has the fangs. So I was like, okay, she's still a demon but she's able to withstand the sun somehow.
Yep. And then we kind of get to the other super important part, and that's Tamayo
Tamayo,
writing
yep.
the letter to Tanjiro, which obviously hasn't gotten yet,
Right.
and just talking about how her body essentially is recreating itself kind of in a molecular,
Molecular.
yeah, that word, scale, and just adapting to everything. And she guessed that Nezuko would be in the future be able to do what she did.
To withstand the sun. Yeah.
Yep.
Which I thought was cool. It makes it fun because she predicted it and sent out the letter. But yeah, like you said, we found it out firsthand before we got the hint. So that's just kind of fun.
Yeah, that was very well done. It absolutely had to go like that because if you would have gotten the prediction first, the emotion you got from Nezuko sacrificing herself would have been nothing. It would have been
Yeah.
literally nothing because you just would have been like, "Oh, yeah, she sacrificed herself, but yeah, she'll be fine," and you can
Hmm.
automatically assume she'll be okay.
Right. Yeah. That whole scene would have been pointless and like, but yeah, they did they did that the right way.
Yep. Um, and just a couple more things I really want to talk about. I thought the Mitsuri section where she almost dies just happens to almost die right at the very end, and then Tanjiro.
Right.
So I thought it was really cool. She's a real person, so she does get exhausted fighting all night. Like you have to remember, she essentially fought this upper four. Yeah, the entire night essentially.
She was fighting that. She saved the town, so she's been zipping around everywhere. And
Yep.
then yeah, that tree dragon chomps down on her. I knew she was going to survive, but I so that's why when as soon as it chomped down, I let out a laugh like, oh shit, that's funny.
Yes. Now she can have her 200 rice cakes, and
Yep.
then you see the Genya getting super embarrassed. Not 100% sure why he was super embarrassed for her hugging him, but whatever. He's
I think
just an
it's just
awkward kid.
yeah, and just maybe just a cute girl, and I mean her boobs are right there too. So
Valid, valid. I mean,
speaking on Genya, he lost that demon form like pretty quick. We didn't see him like I don't think we saw him shift from like demon to human. But like as soon as that sun came out, he was back to human.
yeah, he did. I like that he caught on fire with
Yeah. Oh
Nezuko's
yeah.
blood art because
Yep.
it made it more like, oh yeah, he is actually essentially a demon when he eats their flesh. I thought that was really well done, very good. It again also needed to happen because otherwise he's just kind of an OP character for no reason.
Right. Yeah. And this next season, I would like to see more of Genya. I want
Yep.
to. I want some more backstory on him. I want some more action. Now he just needs to get fully detailed.
Yes, and that has been announced. Did you see that?
Season 4 or Genya?
Season 4.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've definitely seen stuff on Facebook, stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely coming.
Yes. Do you know what it's going to be called?
Ooh, I did not. I just saw the thumbnails and I'm like, cool. Next season's out, but I didn't do any kind of diving into to see what it's called, who's the Hashira going to focus in on. I assume the Serpent is going to be coming around,
Okay.
and
Makes
because
sense.
he made the comment or he made Mitsuri's socks or whatever. So I think he needs more inform. He needs more information on him.
Yes. So the next season is going to be the Hashira training arc.
Okay.
So we're, I'll say it right now, we're getting close to the end of the series, which does
Okay.
kind of make sense.
Okay. Do you? I mean, yeah, we're cutting through some of these uppers. What are they called? The uppers six. I don't remember what my notes say, but yeah, we're cutting through all of Muzan's top guys. We're getting pretty close to almost nobody. They're like there's only three left, and they're all pretty amazing.
yep. It's the upper moon. Well, yeah, we have
Upper Moon, yeah.
three, and then we have the weird. I wouldn't call her weird, but the mysterious um,
Like that.
instrument
She's
person.
always plucking away on that thing. Yeah.
Yep. So that's all we got for the upper moon, and then obviously we have Muzan as well. So we have the next season. Don't have any actual time frames on next season. I'm gonna guess probably around this time next year.
Yep. That's
The
what I guess too.
Hashira training arc. I'll say it right now. It's gonna be exactly as it sounds. Very important. Gonna throw that out there. So
Awesome. Do you think that this will be the final season, or do you think they're gonna need at least one more after that? Even.
yeah, there's gonna be. I can almost guarantee 2 seasons.
Okay. Well, that's good. Plenty
Yes.
more to look forward to then.
Yeah, definitely. And if they stay on par with this, it's gonna be like A+ tier animation, and they're driving the story really well at a really good pace.
Yep. Yeah, I have zero problems with this entire season, so
Yep.
can't wait for more.
Yeah, this season was amazing. I can't wait to watch it dubbed because it was easily. I can't say easily because I haven't watched every show this season, but top tier season for this one.
Oh yeah, this will definitely make top 10 of the year for sure.
Yep.
Maybe even top 5. Let's just go ahead, pull the trigger on that one.
Yes, definitely deserving any accolades that they get. Amazing job. I'm so in love with this series. I can't wait to continue watching it. Like I said, my wife, after watching one episode of this season, was like, okay, yeah, I need to start watching this. And she doesn't really like all that much anime. So that should say everything.
Right. Good for everybody.
Yep. But thank you, everyone, for watching this extended short flights. Just way too much to talk about, way too great of a season finale. Couldn't contain ourselves. It was amazing. Please let us know what you think. And also, please subscribe to us on YouTube. Don't forget to check out the anime show on Facebook and Instagram. He'll let us know all the awesome anime content that's coming out next season because it really is just around the corner. And July is going to be insane. Next season
So many good
is,
names.
yes, so many known good names and so much new stuff that's coming out. It's all just mind blowing. It's really all I can say. I can't think of a better word. So,
We're be eating good, that's for sure.
yep. Again, thank you everybody for watching this super long short flights and have a good one.
Later, guys.